Welcome back to the Trackstar Podcast. We are currently recording on the streets of New York City. Excited to share this episode. It's about the Great American Songbook, which is sort of a genre, sort of a time period, sort of a grouping of songs. Certainly not a book, but we're going to get into that. In this episode, we're going to talk to three artists who have a very strong connection to the Great American Songbook, starting with Seth MacFarlane, the creator of Family Guy, amongst many other achievements. He's also released 9 studio albums.
You know what you're talking about.
Pick these songs.
Walked in here making me, you're like a pool hustler.
Later on, we're going to talk to Academy Award nominee John C. Reilly, who also recently released an album of songs that are connected to the Great American Songbook.
I listen to a lot of old music, to tell you the truth. Like anything after 1960 is going to be kind of a foreign country for me.
Lastly, we're going to talk to 5-time Grammy Award-winning jazz vocalist Samara Joy. I know you know just because of the way you sang that. For this episode, I've once again put together a playlist of 10 songs to help guide and structure the conversation. They're going to help us better understand what the Great American Songbook is all about. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Check.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Trackstar, let's go. I wish the world could be in these headphones right now. I'm on the show. How fun.
We're off to a very hot start here. What is the Great American Songbook?
The Great American, it's a good question. I don't really know what the answer to that is. It's such a weird phrase, isn't it? I think it's actually kind of a lame phrase. I've never actually said that out loud. The Great American Songbook just sounds kind of generic. I think it's what's used to classify any song that isn't really specific to one genre.
Okay.
Like you have a song like, Blue Moon by Rodgers and Hart. Like, what is that? Well, it's not really swing. It's not really classical. It's not jazz. It's just kind of a song that can be adapted to any format. So I think that's kind of what you look like. You don't buy any of this.
I do. I'm 100% buying it. I think I wasn't really thinking about that before, but I have some songs to play for you that are adaptable and have been used in different genres.
Yeah.
There's also a little bit of a time stamp thing on it, right? Like it's like it comes from a different era. But it's still, there's songs still popular today.
Yeah.
But it's almost like a time before pop music. There's a picture of the Rolling Stones right there. It's like before the Rolling Stones.
Yep.
This was the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
It was like Benny Goodman was the Rolling Stones.
That's basically it. In fact, there's a great video you can find on YouTube of Dean Martin hosting what I guess was the Dean Martin show at the time, and the Rolling Stones are on.
Something for the youngsters. 5 singing boys from England who sold a lot of albums. They're called the Rolling Stones. I've been rolled while I was stoned myself.
And you can see, it's just hilarious. You can see like the disdain. They finish their song, and Dean Martin just goes, "There they go, the Rolling Stones. Aren't they great?" And he just does this massive eye roll that's like, it's like, wow. He'd get crucified today for that.
Rolling Stones, aren't they great?
Do I put these on?
Yeah, these are for you.
They've been sterilized?
This is the left side. They're very sterile. You and Obama are the only people who've worn those.
Man, well, that's an easy one. That's it's My Way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whose version is this?
That's Are you going to make me answer this? This is Frank Sinatra singing My Way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Frank Sinatra is an important figure in your life.
Yeah. I mean, Sinatra, I would say Sinatra's an important figure in the life of any musician because he basically invented the album. Wee Small Hours, which I guess was 1955, was really the first record album ever created. This idea of like you have a side A, you have a side B, there's about a dozen songs, and there's one overarching theme that kind of covers the whole record.
I like starting these interviews by playing a song by an artist that I know the guest is familiar with and is going to be excited and comfortable talking about. I'm glad I played Frank to start with Seth MacFarlane. Seth said something really interesting in this conversation. He said that Sinatra is largely responsible for the album. I want to dig into what he's talking about there. So let's go to the studio for another one of our favorite essay segments. Okay, to start, let's think for a minute about how we actually consume music today. Most of us listen through various streaming services. For a monthly fee, we get access to virtually the entire history of recorded music. And with that kind of access, it's easy to forget how different things used to be. For most of the 20th century, music was distributed through physical media and radio. And nearly all of it was tightly controlled by record labels, who decided what got promoted and what got pressed. But before the record labels took over, a different type of business ran the music industry: the sheet music publisher. This was the world of Tin Pan Alley, a stretch of Manhattan where songwriters cranked out hits for both the stage and the living room. Back when radios and record players were still luxuries, music didn't travel by sound, it traveled by paper. A hit tune meant families gathering around the piano. Someone in the house could play, and everyone else would sing along. Because access was so restricted, a lot of the songs never made it past the margins. But for the songs that did get published, they helped build a kind of monoculture, where the same melodies and lyrics were heard in households across the country, kind of like a national soundtrack. In those days, an album was literal, a big binder that looked just like a photo album. Early 78 RPM records could only hold 3 to 4 minutes per side, so songs were released as singles. Albums were simply collections of those singles fit into the pockets of a binder. That changed in 1948 when Columbia Records introduced the 33 1/3 vinyl LP, LP standing for long play. Each side could hold up to 22 minutes of music, which made it ideal for classical and jazz. But the LP's expanded capacity soon became the new standard for popular music, opening the door for artists to think beyond singles and to create full-length listening experiences. Sinatra was one of the first pop vocalists to truly take advantage of the LP format, sequencing songs around a consistent theme and tone. His 1955 release, In the Wee Small Hours, is sometimes considered the first true concept album in pop music. Sinatra, working with arranger Nelson Riddle, approached the album like a film, every track contributing to a single sustained mood with a clear emotional arc. It was recorded during the collapse of his marriage to Ava Gardner, and you can feel the heartbreak and depression come through in the album. He followed with another concept album, 1956's Songs for Swingin' Lovers, which completely flipped the mood. His renewed sense of joy comes across in every song. Across his Capitol years, Sinatra helped redefine the album not just as a format, but as a form, a complete artistic statement.
You know, there would be no Sgt. Pepper's without Sinatra.
And he's an important figure.
People are going to hate that.
He's important for you.
Beatles fans are going to hate that. Yeah, it's I mean, well, certainly with what we're doing right now, with this album, we had the privilege of digging through these what ended up being probably about 1,200. I guess they're about 1,200 boxes. I haven't seen all the boxes. We have an archivist who's been through them, but looking for Sinatra charts that were unrecorded, and we found probably a little over 100 of them after stewardship was given to us by Tina Sinatra. And it's like if you're a Beatles fan, you're finding a Lennon-McCartney song that's written in the late 60s that no one's ever heard. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, really exciting. Fun fact for you guys, My Way was originally a song in French called Comme d'habitude. My French is not great. Earlier this year, I got to speak with another comedic legend and songbook aficionado about how some of these songbook songs jump from one language to another. Check this out.
Hold Me Close and Hold Me Fast. This is La Vie en Rose by... I gotta hear the voice. This is a famously re-recorded song. Oh my gosh, it's Edith Piaf, the original. Sacre Bleu. Ah, La Vie en Rose. It's all about like looking at the world through rose-colored glasses. And it is one of the songs we do in the show, Mr. Romantic. Edith Piaf sings it in French, of course. I don't speak French, but I'm pretty sure that the words are totally different. It's one of those songs like, what's that Bobby Darin song? The Sea?
Beyond the Sea.
Yeah, Beyond the Sea, where they change all the words and Americanize them or whatever. But
wait, that's originally not an English song, Beyond the Sea?
no, it's called La Mer.
la mer. Voyons le long des golfes clairs.
It's like a French song with totally different words. But, you know, if you translate a song into English, it's hard to make it rhyme still.
Yeah.
So I think people just like, let's just do a page one rewrite on this. But La Vie en Rose to me is just a beautiful, beautiful song. It's all about love and, you know, the transformative power of love and how you can just, you know, when you fall in love, suddenly you see the whole world becomes a more beautiful place.
For songs number 2 and 3 on our playlist, 2 absolute classics. I think when you hear these songs, you'll start to realize what I mean when I say that the Great American Songbook includes some of the most famous songs ever written. This first one was released in 1939. I'm sure you'll recognize it. Who's this? This song is, you know, I looked up Great American Songbook, like classic songs, and a lot of people have this as maybe the most important or at least the most famous.
Yeah, it's Judy Garland singing singing Slap That Bass. No, she's singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Yeah. These are very easy.
This is a lot of people have done this song.
It sounds like Summertime.
Yes.
There's an early recording. Oh, it's Billie Holiday. There you go.
Billie and her orchestra. Really early recording.
Yeah.
What do you know about that song? Not that specific recording, but that song in general.
Summertime. I think it's from Porgy and Bess, right? Written by George and Ira Gershwin.
There we go.
That's about the extent of my.
Apparently, Porgy and Bess was an opera. It's
it was
considered a great American opera.
Yeah, sort of the first pop opera. It was everything up to that point was very kind of stuffy, I guess, would be the best way to put it. And then here comes George Gershwin with Porgy and Bess and just changes the whole game.
I want to go a little bit more in depth about how Porgy and Bess changes the game. Let's go back to the studio for a short essay on the importance of Porgy and Bess in not only the Great American Songbook history, but in American history. The 1935 opera Porgy and Bess really did shake up what American music could sound like. Based on DuBose Hayward's 1925 novel Porgy, the production featured music by George Gershwin and lyrics by Hayward. It was written by white composers, performed by an all-black cast, and blended classical music with jazz, blues, and folk. At the time, American concert music was still tethered to European tradition. Gershwin broke that mold, drawing on Black American musical styles, writing in everyday American English, and treating popular forms with orchestral depth. The result was a bold step towards a distinctly American sound. Set in the fictional African-American community of Catfish Row in South Carolina, Porgy and Bess has a long and complicated legacy. It's been praised for elevating black voices on the operatic stage, but also critiqued for its use of stereotypes and for telling a black story through a white creative lens. James Baldwin called it a white man's vision of Negro life. Harry Belafonte turned down the lead role of Porgy in the 1959 film adaptation as he found the portrayal of black life in the opera to be racially demeaning. Still, the opera's music has been widely celebrated, and Summertime, the lullaby that opens it, became the breakout hit. It's been recorded literally thousands of times by Billie Holiday, Ella Fitzgerald, Charlie Parker, Miles Davis, Sam Cooke, Janis Joplin, and many, many more. For some people, it's the song that defines the entire tradition we're talking about here. Have you ever been to the opera?
I have been to the opera. I have a tough time with the opera. I love the symphony, but sitting through an opera, this is just blasphemy for me to say, but it's a tougher thing for me to sit through the opera than it is for me to sit through the symphony. I can see a 2.5 hour symphonic show and I'm just delighted.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about opera. It's like you got to be in the right mood. It's a heavy night.
For song number 4 on the playlist, a song from 1964 by another Capitol Records artist, an artist who is in fact so important to Capitol Records that their LA headquarters is known as the house that he built. Okay, I love this song.
That's Nat King Cole, L.O.V.E.
Okay, what about this song? Tell me about L.O.V.E. with Nat King.
I don't know a whole lot about that particular song. Nat King Cole, I do know was, at least to my ear, really the only other vocalist besides Sinatra who had like a superhuman sense of what an orchestra could do for him.
Yeah.
Like what pull his vocal out of his songs, and his arrangements are just like next level, as were Sinatra's. I don't know if there's anyone else other than those two guys who ever, for me, like approached that degree of high musicality. But L.O.V.E, I don't know a whole lot about the song.
I feel like it's in a lot of
spells
movies
love.
and TV shows.
You know what? I know that. It's in a lot of movies and TV shows.
It's
probably been in like an Anison commercial or something, at some point.
For song number 5, I want to play a song by one of my all-time favorite artists, a song that I like so much that I played it both for Seth and for John C. Reilly, and a song that's so important to the Great American Songbook, it's hard to keep track of which version we're even talking about. Check this out.
This is Eddie Arnold, You Don't Know Me.
Different version.
Oh.
Wait for the vocal.
Oh, is it Sinatra again?
Wait for the vocal.
Oh, gee whiz. Come on, Ray Charles.
You know every version of this song.
It's funny because I learned that song not through Ray Charles, but through other people. Anyway. Yeah, okay, so I don't get the
No,
$5
you do,
for that one?
because you got it eventually. I never told you the
No.
answer.
Come on.
Come on, you just have to get it.
I mean, if you hear Ray Charles' voice, if you don't know who that is,
If you don't know me, he was like literally saying, if you don't know me.
Listen to that Ray Conniff, Percy Faith choir. That's Ray Charles, and he's singing
You Don't Know Me.
You Don't Know Me.
You Don't Know Me by Ray Charles.
Yeah.
Ray bridges a little bit
Yeah.
from the Tin Pan Alley songwriter culture to
He does.
the Rolling Stones culture we were talking about.
That's a. See, you know what you're talking about.
pick these songs.
Walked in here making me, you're like a pool hustler.
You think I'm an amateur?
Man. Oh, now I respect you.
Yeah. I forgot to tell you. So the game, the way that it works is there's money involved and there's stakes. So the first song's
There's money.
$5. And then it goes double or nothing, 5, 10, 20. So you've won about $40, which,
It's like
which is
this is going to change my
This is
life.
going to change your life. This is like a huge deal.
So you give me $40 after the
Yeah, if you get to the end, it keeps going. We'll make a donation.
That's a better.
That's
way
typically what we do.
Yeah, it's a better way to go.
Yeah.
It's better than me.
But
like
I have to.
paying cab fare.
You're the one who's supposed to suggest it, not me.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
just give it to someone who needs it.
Times are tough, man.
Before we get to the next song, a quick word from our sponsor, Rivian. We're currently recording this inside of my Rivian right now. It's a Zen oasis in the middle of New York City. New York City is an incredibly loud place to hang out in, to record podcasts in, to do interviews in. I've had this car for a little over a year, and I'm obsessed with it. It's an incredibly quiet and calm driving experience. My favorite place to listen to music by far is inside the car. The inspiration for Trackstar came from driving around as a kid, flipping stations on the radio with family and guessing who the artist was. I still do that all the time on the weekends when I'm driving around with my wife. We listen to lots of music, we listen to podcasts, and the Rivian is by far the best place to do that. If you don't believe me about how special a driving experience this is, book a demo drive today and let me know what you think. All right, back to the episode. For song number 6 on the playlist, something from a Broadway musical by Rodgers and Hart from 1937. This version is by a polarizing jazz musician. Okay.
Yep.
Different era.
Okay.
Important figure.
That's Chet Baker singing My Funny Valentine by Rodgers and Hart.
There we go.
Yeah. He's an interesting guy, Chet Baker. I've never gotten on the Chet Baker train completely. He's a great trumpet player as well,
Yes.
as I recall, but it's like kind of diet Mel Torme in some ways.
There's certain artists and songs who at their time were really big and then later on they sort of fade.
Yeah, I mean, look, there are people that do you know who Vic Damone was?
No. Tell me
Vic
about
Damone, an amazing vocalist. He was a guy who Sinatra used to look at and say, man, that guy's got a set of pipes. Gordon McRae. These are artists that I can think of who are like, man, if I had that voice, that's like all I would do.
Yeah.
Gordon McRae, Nancy Wilson, you must know, not the Hart
Yes.
singer, but the other Nancy Wilson,
Yeah.
jazz singer, great, probably my favorite female jazz singer of all time. Doris Day, Dolores Gray, two different people.
These are good recommendations. We're building a little bit of a Mount Rushmore
Yeah.
here. We're going to really like this, Seth. Let's take a pause for a minute to check in with Samara Joy, who at 25 has already won 5 Grammy Awards. For Samara, I wanted to play a duet by 2 of the most famous jazz musicians of all time.
Sweet dreams that
Yes.
I know you know just because of the way you sang that. I can hear. You didn't even have to say the name. It's like, oh, she gets it.
Oh, the great songstress, Ella Fitzgerald. I love this this duet, this collaboration, this combination of voices, because I think when you first hear it, I guess initially you think that you hear Louis Armstrong compared to Ellen, it's like, oh, this is like a gruff, but he plays so sweet and he sings so sweet and melodic, and I think he sort of, it's very complimentary, I think, which, I mean, it's the greatest, Louis Armstrong and Ella Fitzgerald. So
Introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Samara Joy. I am a jazz vocalist born and raised in the Bronx, New York.
Part of the Bronx.
Southeast Bronx?
Southeast?
I never really know how to pinpoint it, but it's Castle Hill, Parkchester, 6 Train, if you know, you know.
How do you learn how to, be a band leader?
Just like anything, you just got to do it, And I think my approach is a collaborative one. I want everybody to feel like they can be themselves, musically. Yeah. In the band that I have now, the arrangements that they do, I don't want any boundaries like, oh, this is what you should do. There should be an intro and an ending and da-da-da. Like, if they want to write sections for me to improvise, let's do it. I might be scared, but I'm going to do it, and I'm going to challenge myself. And it's great to surround yourself by people who you feel you can grow with and who inspire you.
That version of Dream a Little Dream of Me from 1957 for song number 7 on the playlist. I want to stick with Ella, but go to a composition originally from 1931 by one of America's all-time great and important composers.
Yeah, Duke Ellington's It Don't Mean a Thing.
Yes.
And this is Ella Fitzgerald.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
What do you know about Duke Ellington?
Great arranger, great composer, and I think a hell of a pianist.
Did he work with Frank Sinatra?
He did. He did an album late. I can't remember what it was called. It was late in the game. I think it was like the late 60s. I could be way wrong. I'm just saying stuff now.
You're good though. People are going to trust you.
Yeah, they'll look it up.
You sound like an authority.
They'll look it up. I guess no one looks up. They don't look anything up anymore, do they?
No. They
fine.
Trust what you see.
They'll just take my word for it.
You know.
Late 1960s.
Fact check. Seth is right. In 1967, Frank Sinatra and Duke Ellington released an album called Francis A. and Edward K. For song number 8, another song by a big band legend. I read somewhere that Seth is a huge fan of the movie Radio Days, and this song is featured in that movie, so I thought it'd be interesting to play it for him and get his reaction. Okay, this song I picked out especially for you. I'm curious if this rings any bells.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, I know this, and it's because I know it so well that it's just completely left my brain.
Where do you think you know it from?
That's Body and Soul.
Yeah.
And it's Glenn Miller?
Benny Goodman.
It's Benny Goodman.
That's hard, because instrumentals are hard.
Yeah, they can be, but I should have known that. This is kind of pissing me off a little. Glenn Miller and Benny Goodman.
Yeah.
Both great clarinetists, and yet, how do you tell the difference?
Do you know where that's from?
Do I know where that's from?
Movie.
Fuck, man.
Radio Days.
Oh, see, I haven't had enough vodka yet.
Let me get some of that.
You want some? Radio Days. God, now I'm fucking. God damn it. Yeah, I mean, Radio Days in many ways for me was like what Back to the Future was for like 1950s music. You take an era that you really have no connection to, and then a narrative kind of gives you a frame of reference, and you can kind of lock into it. And I felt that way about Radio Days. I felt that way about Back to the Future. It's like you walk out of the movie and you're like, oh, I want to find more of this stuff. And I'm actually just now remembering I begged my parents to get me an electric guitar after I went to see Back to the Future, and I don't think I ever picked it up. And we were not a wealthy family.
They were supportive.
Yeah, it was like shaped like a lightning bolt. So, I got like a hip side to me too.
Even though you didn't play, the fact that they got it for you was a signal that they were supportive and you should chase your dreams.
I think it kind of hurt. I think it kind of hurt the family budget.
How did you get into music to begin with? Were you singing as a little kid?
I was in, if you can believe this, I was in a church choir.
Yeah.
I was in an Episcopal church choir in Connecticut.
Yeah.
The choir director started doing like local theater productions, like Gilbert and Sullivan shows, that kind of thing. And so I did a lot of that stuff. And I loved film soundtracks. I loved movie soundtracks. I loved John Williams and like Jerry Goldsmith and James Horner and like all this stuff that I should have been listening to the radio. I should have been listening to like what was hot at the time.
Yeah.
And I just was like, man, I love this stuff. And so I found my way into this kind of music in sort of a backwards way. Like I didn't really pay much attention to Sinatra until college. And then when I did, I was hearing something that I really wasn't hearing from anyone else. I was like, wow, this guy's like singing to what sounds like a film score. Like his arrangements are that good. And so it was kind of a backdoor way in.
Do you ever think you're going to be nominated for a Grammy?
No. I still don't believe it happened.
You're just like,
I think I dreamed it.
could happen again?
I could, I guess, but let's not jinx it, huh?
Well, it's not just about making the record. It's about putting the time and the work and the effort into the archival process.
Yeah, you got to
these
kind of
things
work
up.
for it, don't you?
You have a lot of respect for the art form. It's not just like, oh, let me just do this on the side.
Yeah, no, we don't half-ass it. These things. There's a lot of work that goes into these things. But yeah, there is a process. You got to like glad hand people.
How do you have time to do everything?
Some palms. What?
How do you have time to do everything? How do you make TV shows and movies and how many albums now?
I think it's like 8.
Yeah, that's insane.
9.
9.
I delegate well. I will say that. I will compliment myself in that one and only way. I delegate well, and I surround myself with people who are very smart, who are smarter than I am. And when I set a show in motion and I put somebody in charge of it, I just walk away, but I kind of do just walk away and say like, this is now yours.
Yeah.
And I think that's worked pretty well. I think, something like American Dad is a good example. I have never had anything more to do with that show really than voices. And I think that's why it kind of has its own voice. It's like the showrunners are able to put their stamp on it instead of me coming in and like, peeing on yet another show.
Do you do the voices like this, like voice memo?
Just like that, just all on my phone.
No, you must do it.
I do it in the studio.
Okay.
I do it in the studio, yeah.
Similar. You learn something in the studio. Voices, music.
Sure.
At the beginning of our conversation, we talked about how the Great American Songbook isn't necessarily confined by genre bounds. So for song number 9, I wanted to play a country version of a Great American Songbook classic. This song is from 1978.
Well, it's a harmonica, I know that.
Smiling at me,
Blue Skies by Irving Berlin.
nothing but blue skies.
Is that Willie Nelson?
Yeah.
It's Willie Nelson. Look at
70s. There's a country version.
Man, play more songs by people who are stoned while they're singing. This is yeah. I didn't know he did this.
Pretty cool.
Nothing but blue skies. Yeah, it's different.
We made it to song number 10 on our Great American Songbook playlist. For the last song on the playlist, I couldn't help but close the loop. We started with Somewhere Over the Rainbow, so I wanted to finish this playlist with another Hollywood Disney classic. Maybe you recognize what movie this song is from. Okay. Last one.
Yeah.
This is a good one to send you off with.
It sounds like it's going to be Gene Kelly, but I'm sure it's not. It's the MGM Orchestra. Yeah, it's from a film. Yeah, it's fucking Jiminy Cricket, dude.
Yes. It's Jiminy Cricket.
These are easy.
Yes. Cliff
I mean,
Edwards.
clearly they're not because I got a couple of them wrong.
Cliff Edwards is his name. And he was the voice of Jiminy Cricket.
Wow.
And did that song. And he had a couple other hits in his career. And I thought that was a nice like moment to wrap up our Great American Songbook conversation.
I'm like visualizing you like making this mix for me at home. Is that what that was?
At the office.
At the office.
Yeah, I had a team of people.
Oh, a team.
The whole writer's room.
So it's not just you like with your phone like that one.
I do that a lot. We've done like 500 episodes of this show.
Yeah.
And it is often me like thinking about, whoa, what would be a good thing to play? But this one we brought in the heavy hitters. We brought in Noah over there. He had a little bit This
is your doing, Noah.
You can thank him. He was the one who said play Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah.
But what did we miss? Are there any artists or songs or things that you think are important for this conversation about the Great American Songbook?
Wow. It's a tough one. I mean, we've covered a lot. I think maybe the takeaway is like there's got to be a better term than the Great American Songbook. It just sounds so vanilla, and there's nothing about any of this music when it's done right that's vanilla. It's like you stand in a room where an orchestra that really knows what the hell it's doing is playing one of these arrangements. It has all the life of like the most intense small jazz combo that you've ever heard. Like that's where it gets really good. I mean that's something I think that's maybe been lost a little bit. That like the song you just played for me is like pure beauty. It's pure beauty. That's what it's out to just really generate an emotion in the most basic pure sense. And I don't know if you can get away with that anymore, but
you're trying.
We're trying. We'll find out with Lush Life.
Is there a name you would give the Great American Songbook?
I mean, you could say orchestral pop, but that doesn't work either because sometimes it can just be a small group. I don't know. The next time I come back, if I'm ever asked back, I'll have something kind of locked and loaded.
Yeah. Well, people say jazz standards, but it's not really jazz standards.
It's not. Like what you just played, like you're not going to listen to When You Wish Upon a Star sung by Jiminy Cricket and go, say, that's good jazz. It's just not. It's something else. It's just pure melody. It's genre free. It's outside the space-time continuum of music.
Yes. Well, that's all, folks.
All righty.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Great to meet you.
All right, man. You too.
I recently finished this book called Dino, a memoir of Dean Martin. And I guess maybe I could have included a Dean Martin song on this playlist because he was so entrenched in the Great American Songbook in his career. But one of my takeaways from reading that book was how famous and popular Dean and the rest of the Rat Pack and the big band leaders were at that time. This is like before the Beatles. This is like before there was rock and roll. This was the most popular music in the world. It started before there was even really widespread recordings. It started before TV. It started like at the beginning of radio when people used to perform live on the radio and they didn't play records. And it lasted until the rise of people tuning in and watching the Dick Clark show at night in their homes on television. And then it kind of ended pretty abruptly when rock and roll took over in the 60s. But the history and the legacy of the Great American Songbook is very much still with us. There's contemporary artists who continue to cover those songs and play versions of those songs today. If you go to a Broadway musical, which this year Broadway had, I think, its biggest year ever in terms of ticket sales, you still hear those types of songs. It's a huge part of our culture. That's why we're so familiar with all these songs to this day. So that concludes our playlist of 10 songs that define the Great American Songbook. I've been your host, Jack Coyne. Thanks for tuning in to the Trackstar podcast, and we'll see you guys next week. All right, that's all. Trackstar is a presentation of public opinion created by me, Jack Coyne, Kieran Coyne, and Henry Cornaros. Written and produced by Noah John. Edited and produced by Haley Sobel. Theme and original composition by Kieran Coyne. Mixing by Christian Stropko. Our agent is Joanna Orland at UTA. Thanks for listening. See you next Wednesday.